I want to talk a little bit about that theme, how to succeed in business with work life, not without really trying. I mean, if you ever saw the movie, Pierpont gets from mailroom boy to chairman of the board in, I think it's like 7 days or something. It's a very funny play, but it's a different time now, as you can tell from both the clothes, which are coming back, and the concept of succeeding without really trying. It was a joke back then, and it's a big joke now. What we really need to succeed is work life. And what we've gathered here today and over the next 2 days and tomorrow night for our big gala dinner, we've gathered the premier people who know, who understand, who create, and who love work life. It's you who this conference is all about. We're here to help you dig deeper into work life. We're here to create new concepts. We're here to measure and talk about how we did this year. We're here to champion this amazing business tactic, this strategy, this cultural shift that is work life. And it's a cultural shift not just at our companies, but in the country as a whole. And we have exported this cultural shift all around the globe and are now championing work life everywhere that our companies do business. You are championing work life. And I think that this theme this year is really appropriate because nothing has really prepared us for what's happening in the world over the last 3 years. It's a tough, tough time. This is not easy, and you see this reflected in what's going on all over the globe, and right here in our backyard in New York City with Occupy Wall Street, the 99% movement. What's happening is really a cry of pain. This is not so much about politics because, people keep saying, well, the Occupy Wall Street people don't know what they're arguing for. They don't have a platform. But I believe that's because it's not about a platform. It doesn't really need a platform. It's a cry of pain. And the pain is that the American family is suffering. And that this suffering is, has many, many, many implications for us as professionals. And it has many reasons. Unemployment is high. Foreclosures are high. There's a feeling of instability in our own lives. There's a feeling of not being able to pay back college loans. All of this is all accumulating, and we can't ignore it. We can't walk away from it. We can't put it in a little box and say, oh, that's just a few people. No. We didn't ever really see this kind of movement, even when there was huge discussion about getting out of Iraq or getting out of Afghanistan. This didn't create this kind of public discussion. And I'm always a great one for public discussion. I think it's the most important thing that we can do. And so I think we need to talk about this. So to relate that back to what we're doing here today and tomorrow, work life is one of the solutions, not just for companies, but also for families. And the work that we do here over the next 2 days that propels us forward over the next year and then on the year after that, this work is so important because never more has this concept of integrating work and life been more important. Never has it been so important that we keep top talent and that we make our top talent succeed and that we help our top talent to be very productive. A lot of the way that companies look at work life is to say that a happy worker, a happy employee is a productive employee. That's a kind of a baseline idea. So everything that we're doing today and tomorrow is to improve work life as a whole systemic solution to the problems that this country faces. It's a systemic solution inside your companies Yes, but it's also a systemic solution inside our families, on an individual family by family basis, inside our communities, and inside the country as a whole. Because when work life succeeds, there is so much more support for women who are 50% of the workforce now. In many companies represented here, higher than 50%. So much more support for women around the globe who are quickly getting to the same level of expectation on work-life issues that we have in this country. But it's also about setting the bar for others. Because we in this room are way ahead of everybody else. And we'll show you some numbers in just a minute to prove that to you. We are way ahead of everybody else. And it's kind of sad how far we are ahead. I always am proud of the 100 best for how far we are ahead, but I'm also always concerned about how far we are ahead. And I really want to get more companies. I was asked what would Working Mother look like in 2050. And I said we'd have 1,000 best companies, not 100. But I am really far from that goal. We are far from that goal of having 1,000 best companies. I don't know if it'll ever happen. But so I think that when we look at the succeeding with work life, how to succeed in business with work life, we need to take it into the context of a bigger conversation, a conversation that reflects the economy, the global nature of our businesses, the needs of our families, the situation of our communities, our states, our nation, even our armed services, which are embracing work life faster than any other segment of our country. And why are the armed services embracing work life? Because women are becoming a really important part of the armed services, and because it works, it succeeds. So as you work today on the next steps for work life, and as you work today on what is Work Life 3.0, as we acknowledge today that this is the 26th year of the 100 best companies, and as we acknowledge that nothing gets done without really trying, we know that, I want us to reflect on the work that we do in the context of today. We can't rest on our laurels. We can't rest on the fact that we're the best. We can't take too much time even to celebrate being the best, although we will on Thursday night. We'll take all the time we need until 9:15, and then we're cut off. But we can barely take the time because the need is so urgent. What you do here today and tomorrow is urgently, urgently needed by our country, our communities, our families, and all the other companies that don't make the Working Mother 100 best. So I'm not sure how you can get out there and proselytize to the companies that aren't on this list, but let's think about that too. We use the magazine, and you saw our gorgeous cover earlier of the 100 best with that fabulous Cole Haan purse. Everybody's asking me, what is it? It's a Cole Haan purse. You can get it at Macy's and Lord & Taylor. Everybody's all the readers are emailing me saying, where can I get that fabulous poppy-colored red purse? I knew it was a hit when my daughter, who picked out my outfit today, thank you, Julia, said, yes, oh, that is the purse for this season. Oh boy, that was a clue. So as we look at our fabulous issue and read it and enjoy it and participate in our conference, let's put ourselves in the biggest context we can, global, national, community, and then let's put us into the smallest context that we can, family, friends, neighbors, and remember why we do this work from the very bottom of our beings. So what I want to do is to show you some of the numbers. Oh, before I do that, though, I have to talk to you about Twitter. Twitter is my friend. I will be twittering these pictures from the opening thing, and I'll be twittering everybody tweeting. Oh, they trained me. They said it's not twittering, it's tweeting. Twitter is what birds do. Tweeting is what humans do. Okay, I don't get it, but let's get that slide up here. Here's our hashtag. Use this. Hashtag WM Work Life. And me, I am Carol Evans, WM, so you can follow me or tweet along with me. And when you magically combine these two things together, okay, next slide, when you combine WMM Work Life and at Working Mother, which really helps because then you have very few letters left to fill into the tweet. So that's a really good clue right there. When you combine these two together, something magical happens and you can follow the work-life conversation. So you can see I'm reading that. You can follow the work-life. No, it's really a fun world, and we're all about it. Before I bring Jennifer up, just a few other points of interest here. The exhibit hall is open, full of fantastic solutions for you. These people are here to help you to streamline the work that you do, and so be sure to go up and talk to them. You know, they're the friendliest folks in town, so be sure to stop by and say hello. And then we have our silent auction. Oh, please enjoy it, participate in it, and bid up. What we need is people to support the Museum of Motherhood, which is our recipient of all of our funds this year. Last year we raised $7,000, and I don't know if Museum of Motherhood would have the home that it has now without that seed money of $7,000 last year. So yes, thank you. Congratulations to Joy Rose and the Museum of Motherhood. It's the only Museum of Motherhood in the country. There's a Museum of Barbed Wire and a Museum of Mustard and everything else. So, you know, I mean, there's a Museum of Sex here in the city, so, you know, that's a fun one too. But the Museum of Motherhood is not just a museum of artifacts. It's not really a museum of artifacts at all. It's a living museum, living with music, with plays, with artwork, all of it about moms now, what moms are doing now, and then the historical look back at motherhood that frames the walls and the museum. So please be sure to visit it if you're in town for a few days. It's at 82nd and, anybody know? Shout it out. I'll get that back to you. First, 82nd and First, and it is just phenomenal. So talk to Joy, bid up the items. She has fabulous items.